Hello again, I am Blunty, and as some of you already know, I'm currently testing a build-it-yourself 3D printer for a review. It's the first 3D printer I have ever used, and while I'm learning my way around 3D printing, which it turns out is just as much an art as it is a skill, one of the things I've been keeping an eye on for things to print during my testing is of course Nintendo Switch accessories, simply because the Nintendo Switch is the newest funnest gadget I have and I want to do things with it. And I've already made a video about a neat little JoyCon grip, which was the very first practical thing I ever 3D printed. But I've also been watching the various designs people are coming up with for stands for the tablet section itself. I've used the kickstand at home and out in the world, and it's fine. Unlike CNET, I've somehow resisted the urge to poke and prod and hit and otherwise push the damn thing over, and magically, it's been perfectly stable. Imagine that! But I would personally prefer a steeper angle. I feel like the kickstand is just a bit too shallow for my tastes. To that end, there are many different designs from people on Thingiverse, a 3D printing website, but most have two things I don't especially feel suit my personal use case. See, I want something extremely portable and durable. So while many of the designs I'm showing you here look great, with clever and indeed attractive designs, they're all either too bulky or have moving parts, two things I want to avoid. But then I found this, and the idea is ingeniously elegant. It just uses the Switch's own JoyCon rails as a secure attachment point. Just one side note, by the way, these ones are fresh out of the 3D printer. I've done no sanding or any kind of finishing at all, which is why they look a little bit rough. But with nice flat surfaces everywhere on these things, it won't take much work to get these looking nice and clean. There's zero moving parts, and though you have two separate items to keep together, they're small and flat enough to slip into practically any carry case or bag, or hell, even your jeans pocket. The disadvantage, of course, is you can't adjust the angle, but there are actually two different versions, a 60 degree and a 45 degree, available on Thingiverse already, and of course the design is simple enough to be very quickly modified to basically any angle you like. And yes, they still leave room for a charging cable too, although not the longer plug of the official Nintendo cable. But I suppose if you wanted to use it with the official Nintendo cable, you could just modify the design to be slightly taller. The ones I've printed here are the version 2 45 degree angle ones. They're a bit more attractive and slimmer than the version 1. And because they print flat and there's no complex shapes or overhangs, they're very easy to print. They're robust and the rails fit great in the Switch with a nice friction fit to keep the Switch in place. Although I do imagine over time the plastic may wear down a bit and start fitting a bit too loose for a secure hold, but hey, no big deal, just print up a fresh pair. I think I may pop a small hole on the foot of each one to string them together, just to more easily keep them together. But I do think I have found my ideal travel stand for my Nintendo Switch. Small, light, flat, no moving parts, robust and elegantly simple. I do also have some black printing filament to test after I've finished with this more camera-friendly blue stuff. So what I'm going to do is reprint these in black, clean them up and finish them properly for the ones I'll actually be using out in the world for a nice, subtle, practically invisible look. Thanks for watching, I am Blunty, and I'll catch you next time.